So let me share my screen. We'll start with our prayers. Oh goodness, where's the share screen? Okay. Yeah, we'll do our prayer and then we'll start with the meditation. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my virtuous merits of creating, my merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. So let's do a short meditation before we get started with Rinpoche's words. So we can take a comfortable seat. We can scan our body to see if we're in the 7-point posture. If we remember the 7 points, the back, the elbow, the neck, the right leg over left, right hand over left, right palm over left, thumbs touching, tongue at the palate, and chin slightly tilted. So we can just do a short breathing or whatever meditation is helpful for us to bring our minds to rest. If thoughts appear, they're just like clouds in the sky that drift away without leaving any mark or after effects. So let's remind ourselves how much we depend on others who have taught us in this life, in our worldly life. So when we were born from our mother, we were helpless. We knew nothing. She was the one, for example, who taught us how to eat, how to clean ourselves, just even the most basic things, how to protect ourselves. We didn't know anything about how to read or write until we went to school and met a teacher. You know, when we got our first job, somebody taught us the basics on what to do. So if it hadn't been for teachers like that, we really wouldn't be anywhere today. But when we think about the countless lives we have led like this, with lots of different teachers, teaching us so many things, as the scriptures say, there's nothing that we haven't done already. And everything had to be taught to us. So we've had countless teachers to teach us how to do basic things in worldly life. And yet we are continually still cycling in life after life. We haven't found a way out, that is. But in this life, finally, we have a human life, which is the greatest gift of all. And not only that, but we have met qualified, compassionate spiritual teachers, which is even more rare. Like Lama Zopa Rinpoche, like His Holiness, Geshe-la, or our other teachers. So we are extremely fortunate. And it's imperative that we devote our entire self to practice their words and their advice. Because that's the only way we are going to liberate ourselves from this cyclic existence. And of course, help others to liberate themselves from cyclic existence. So Guru devotion is, as it says, the foundation of all good qualities, of all our merits. Without our Guru's blessings, we would be nowhere. The fact that we have a human life is because of meritorious activities we have done in the past, which we had to be taught by gurus. So we do, so for all the non-worldly things, non-worldly goals that we have, we cannot achieve them without devoting ourselves to the guru. So it says the benefits of devoting oneself to the guru is greater than the numberless grains of sands that are on the river Ganges. So we have to think about the guru's kindness and continually helping us, guiding us, supporting us. Their sea of qualities, their sublime ethics, concentration, wisdom, but not just wisdom, but direct reality, direct perception of the nature of reality. Compassion, diligence, patience, great understanding of the scriptures, patience. So it's extremely rare to have met teachers who have these qualities. It's rare to meet teachers in the first place, but even rarer to meet teachers who have these qualities. And yet we have had the great fortune of having met teachers like that, like Rinpoche, like His Holiness, Jado Rinpoche. There's, so many great teachers who embody those qualities. And many others. So we are extremely grateful to them, and therefore we have to practice, follow their advice and follow their instructions, which is the greatest way to show gratitude towards our teachers, is to follow their advice. So with that, we'll get started with Rinpoche's advice. So I don't know, Dhani, if you have seen the previous video. It's okay if you haven't, but in general, living in the path is, I don't know, have you come to other living in the path classes? No? Okay. So living in the path is basically, it's Dharma advice from Rinpoche himself. So my role is basically to facilitate, to facilitate the course, but the course is his audio, his video teachings, and I help essentially, or the facilitator answers questions or explains certain things that he might say, but that's about it. So I'm not the teacher here. Rinpoche is the teacher, but the goal is to hear Rinpoche's advice directly. So all of these things are from Rinpoche, and most of these are taken from from the light of the path retreats that he holds kind of annually, but hasn't been for a while for obvious reasons, um, in North Carolina. So I've gone to all but one. So I know, so I was very fortunate to have been there when he was speaking these words. So it's really nice to review them for me and to bring them to others like you and others who might be watching these videos. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is so the course has videos and it has, some bits. There are no videos, but they have transcripts of his teaching. So the transcripts I will read as you read, and I'll put them on the screen as I read them. And for the videos also, there are transcripts for people who might have a little difficulty in understanding Rinpoche's, accent or words. So what I will do is right now, I will put the transcripts for the videos on the chat screen, but you won't need them until the next, couple of, once we're in, oh goodness. Okay. Hang on, let me put the transcripts in there. So that way you'll have them when we do watch the videos. Oh, you can only do them one at a time. Is that right? No. Okay, well, anyway. Okay, so this is the first one. And then let me just send the second one. That way it's all done in one shot. And then the third one. So these are the ones I'm hoping to cover today. Okay. All right. And then, so last time, so this was kind of a review. The meditation was kind of a review of what we covered last time. So let me put the link in the chat box. All right, now you should be able to see the screen. So this is the first bit. There's no video, so I'll read it as you can read it along with me. So this is this one, he talks about how the guru devotion is the most, the unbelievable advantage of devoting oneself to the guru, right? So here, he's talking about, once we have met the guru, and once we have convinced ourselves that he is a representative of the Buddha in our life, then some of the great shortcomings of getting angry and so forth and so on at the guru, right? So he says, maybe I will mention this so that by understanding these points, you can understand why guru devotion is needed. For example, if you, who are not a bodhisattva, gets angry at a bodhisattva for 1 second, the negative karma collected in that 1 second results in having to be the most unbearable hell realm, the 8th one for eons. The other way of relating to this is that if for 1,000 eons you have collected merits by having made charity to sentient beings and by having made offerings to those gone to bliss, meaning the Buddhas, there are numberless Buddhas who have gone to bliss, then by giving rise to anger for 1 second, it destroys all those merits collected for 1,000 eons. This is, by the way, I'll just say it as an aside, it's good to remember that all negative actions, of course, have consequences, right? Karmic consequences. Anger is considered the most serious of them all, because anger not only creates negative karma, which is true for all negative actions, but it also is unique in that it also destroys karma, meritorious karma that we have created in the past. So not only does it create negative karma, it destroys positive merits we have created in the past. So then he says, this is if you who are not a bodhisattva get angry at a bodhisattva by giving rise to anger for 1 second, that destroys the merit of making charity to sentient beings and offerings to the Buddhas for 1,000 eons. Higher than a bodhisattva is a Buddha. One Buddha is more powerful than numberless bodhisattvas. So if you get angry at a Buddha for even 1 second, can you imagine? I don't know. Maybe it destroys 10,000 eons of merit. It's much more heavy. Maybe the merit of having made charity to sentient beings or offerings to the Buddhas for 10,000 eons is destroyed by getting angry for 1 second at a Buddha. If a non-Buddha gets angry at a Buddha for 1 second, it is unimaginable how much merit gets destroyed. And now there is the Guru. So he started with the Bodhisattva, getting angry at Bodhisattva. Then he went higher in the field of merit, which is a Buddha. And now he's going even higher, which is the Guru. The Guru is anyone with whom you have made the determination that he's your Guru and you are his disciple. And then he gave you even one verse of teaching. For you, that person becomes the most powerful object, more powerful than numberless Buddhas. Therefore, if you get angry or arise heresy with the Guru for 1 second, can you imagine it? It is the heaviest one. Can you imagine how many merits are destroyed? Compared to how much merit you lose when you get angry to Bodhisattva, 1,000 eons of merits of having made charity and so forth. Now, 1 second of getting angry or arising heresy towards a Guru destroys 50,000 or 100,000 eons of merit. This many eons of merit collected by making charity and offerings are destroyed in 1 second of giving rise to anger at the Guru. However much merit is destroyed if you get angry for 1 second at a Bodhisattva, then according to that, when you get angry or arise heresy to the Guru, that is the heaviest one. Inconceivable eons of merit get destroyed. Wow. In the Guru Devotion Outline, there are 8 shortcomings of making a mistake in devoting to the virtuous friend. There it says that if you get angry or arise heresy at the Guru for 1 second, 1 eon of merit gets destroyed. If you criticize or put down the Guru, after you have made a connection, you create the negative karma of having criticized or put down all the Buddhas. If you belittle the Guru, you belittle all the Buddhas. You get the extremely heavy negative karma. There are 3 things. First, if you get angry at the Guru, then for however many seconds you get angry at the Guru, that many number of eons of merit gets destroyed. If you get angry at the Guru for 1 second, then 1 eon of merit gets destroyed. Let's say you get angry at the Guru for 1 minute, but usually when you get angry, there's more time. 1 minute is very short. Usually one gets angry for many hours, sometimes months or years. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 60 seconds of getting angry with the Guru means 60 seconds of merits gets destroyed. Not only do merits get destroyed, but it delays your realizations for 60 eons. If you were going to realize bodhicitta or actualize emptiness tomorrow, then that realization is delayed for 60 eons. That is the second thing. The third is that for 60 eons, you will have to suffer in the hell realm. In the Lamrim outline, it says that for however many seconds you get angry at the Guru, that many eons of merits gets destroyed. And for that many eons, you have to be born in the hell realm and suffer. Count the moments you were angry at the Guru. You destroy root virtues built up over eons. You will experience intense suffering in hell, and so on for that very number of eons. I translate Kechig as in second, blah, blah, blah. The Lamrim teachings say this means a second it takes to complete an action, which is the duration of a finger snap. According to Hinayana, it is the duration of a youthful person takes to snap their fingers. According to the Hinayana, within this second, there is a very short, the finest amount of time. I don't know whether you have the name for that. The finest, shortest time, which is 1/65th of a second. But in the Mahayana, this shortest time is counted as 365ths of a second. So when he says second, he doesn't mean the second that we think of in the West, but he's talking about like that, you know. And 1/365th of a second is the shortest time. So yeah. So you know, so what he's saying is, not only does negative thoughts towards the Guru, whether it's angry, rise heresy, and so forth and so on, negative thoughts of the Guru, not only does it delay by, you know, whatever it is, 1 eon per second or so forth, you know, whatever realizations we were going to make. So 60 seconds of anger is 60 eons of delay for whatever realization we were hoping to make in this life. But not only that, but for those 60 eons, we are going to be in the bottommost hell realm, right? So suffering, intense suffering in hell. And it's all because, as he said, belittling the guru is equivalent to belittling all the Buddhas, right? Does that make sense why that is? You don't have to turn on your video, Tani, if you want to ask something or say something. Why is belittling the guru? Yeah.
It takes me a long time to come back because I also have to have the screen on blank, and then I have to enter the code to get back in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yes, it does. It makes total sense. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the Buddha, so the guru is a representative of all the Buddhas in this life, right? And we don't have the karma to see the Buddhas in their, you know, Sambhogakaya form, or, you know, to see them directly, right? And so so the Buddhas are acting through their representative, who is the guru. And negative actions towards the guru, negative thoughts, for example, towards the guru is equivalent to negative thoughts toward, not only is it the same as negative thoughts towards the Buddha, which is quite bad, but because the guru is much kinder than the Buddhas, negative thoughts towards them is much more serious than just a second of negative thought toward the Buddhas. So and the gurus is kinder than the Buddhas because they're the ones who made the effort to be here to guide us. In a way, what is the analogy they use? I don't know if it's in the Lamrimra, but Rinpoche said this at some point. He said, it's like, the Buddhas is like somebody, who gives you money when you're already rich, because you're rich already, you have the merits, so you can see the Buddhas and Buddhas will teach you, right? But if you are poor and somebody gives you money, and that's the guru, right? We don't have the merits to get guidance from the Buddhas, but the guru is the one who decided to help us, right? So they're much kinder than the gurus, and they're going, they're taking on the body, the human body, which comes with suffering and all, so they have taken on suffering to guide us, so that's why negative actions toward the guru is so much more serious. All right. Then back to Rinpoche's words. In Pabonka Rinpoche's elaborate guru devotion teaching, in the second outline on the shortcomings of making mistakes, we're here, by the way, mistakes in guru devotion, it talks about 1 second of getting angry. It says the result is that many eons of merit gets destroyed, and for that many eons, one gets born in the hell realm. That is a kechig, a second, or the shortest time, or the shortest moment. For however many shortest moments you get angry, that many number of eons of merits gets destroyed. For that many number of eons you get born in and have to suffer in hell. I think it is not talking about 1 second of completing an action. According to Mahayana, in this 1 second, there are 365 moments. It's referring to those moments. If you get angry for one moment at the guru, then that many number of eons of merits gets destroyed, and that many eons you get born in hell and suffer. The Bodhisattva Charyavatara says that if a non-bodhisattva gets angry at a bodhisattva, 1,000 eons of merits gets destroyed. Maybe it doesn't count the shortest moment. In the second outline of the shortcomings of making mistakes in devoting to the virtuous friend, it says, if for 1 second one gets angry at a virtuous friend, for that many eon, one gets born in hell. It looks like that has to be the shortest moment. It should be that for the 1 second of duration for completing an action. It should be that, or the 1 second of duration for completing an action. Maybe in reference to getting angry at a bodhisattva who has completed the merits of wisdom and virtue and has ceased the gross and subtle defilements, it is talking about the 1 second of completing an action. It may be that and not the shortest moment. We need to analyze as otherwise it seems that if one gets angry at a bodhisattva, for 1,000 eons, one gets born in hell. But if one gets angry at the guru, many less eons of marriage gets destroyed and one needs to suffer less in hell. Therefore, we need to analyze this. Okay, so he's going into this detail of all this difference between 1 second and 265th of a second, all that, because I think what he's saying is that there seems like there is a discrepancy between what the Bodhisattva Charyavatara says and what Papanka Rinpoche says in the Lam Rim. But what he's saying is, no, that's not true. So when the Bodhisattva Charyavatara talks about, the 1 second of, 1 second, it's really 1 second that someone who is free of, gross and subtle defilements, right? So they basically will have, however long this is, of being in the hell realms and delayed realizations. But for those of us who are, not there yet, who have not ceased gross and subtle defilements, who are not an Arya being, for us it's 165ths of this. So that's the difference in interpretation between the two. Okay. Yeah, so now we're here. What you should understand is that in the 1 second of complete action, the duration of a finger snap, there are 365 shortest moments. That means if you get angry for the duration of a finger snap, then 365 eons of merits gets destroyed. Then the second result is that for 365 eons, your realizations are delayed. And now the third is that for 365 eons, you have to be born in the hell realms and experience suffering. How long does this world last? Its evolution starts from the form realm, then the desire realm, devas, and human beings, and then the last one is a hell realm. It takes 20 intermediate eons for the evolution of the world. How long does it last? For 20 intermediate eons. How long does it take to get destroyed? 20 intermediate eons. How long does empty space last? For 20 intermediate eons. So there are 4 periods of 20 intermediate eons. Now here, for a finger snap, to get angry at a guru for this length of time, there are 365 eons of results. So if you are born in the hell of this world, when this world ends, you will have to get reborn in the hell for another realm because the karma is still not finished of getting angry at the guru. So when the world ends, you will get reborn in the hell of another world because the karma is still not finished. So here he talks about, and this is given in more detail in the Lam Rim texts. But what he's talking about is, how long one universe lasts, right? And so you have these great eons and you have these intermediate eons. So he's talking about how, it takes 20 eons. An eon is, I don't remember, I remember calculating it, or Rinpoche actually I said, it's some number of millions of years. I can't remember how much an eon is, but it's a lot of years. So it takes 20 of these eons for the evolution of the world, then it lasts for another 20 eons, and then it takes another 20 eons to get destroyed. So that's 30 eons, 30 eons, and then another 20 eons of space between the next, worlds showing up and so forth and so on, right? So if you have 365 eons of, because you had you had wrong view toward the guru for one finger snap, so you got, you can see that, you got a many worlds of hell realm, living in hell realm going on. Yes, Dani.
Is eon a kalpa?
Yes, eon is a kalpa. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's relatively clear. Then he said, this is talking about this duration of anger. Rinpoche snaps his finger. So you can't imagine what would happen if you get angry with the guru for hours, days, or months. Can you imagine what happens? It is the most unimaginable. So that is the most important thing to purify. Therefore, in your daily life, do Vajrasattva and also Samaya Vajra, which is a particular practice to purify negative karma in relation to the guru. Then also do the Soga offering and self-initiation. So yes, so Vajrasattva, is a Vajrasattva practice, and there's a specific practice, Samaya Vajra practice, both of which are used to purify any negative actions, negative demerits, if you will, or negative karma towards the guru. And if you want, Vajrasattva, of course, it's well known, so you can always get the Vajrasattva practice from various places. And if you can't, then let me know. And Samaya Vajra is, I'm not sure if FPMT you can look on the FPMT website and see if, there's a separate booklet for the Samaya Vajra practice. But if you can't find it, it is there in the Lama Zopa practice. So that you can always look up in the Lama Zopa practice, because in the Lama Zopa, one of the steps in the beginning is to purify negative actions towards a guru, and in there it has both the Vajrasattva and the Samaya Vajra. So some days I will do the Samaya Vajra, some days I will do the Vajrasattva, kind of like that, So this is when I'm doing retreat. I'm doing the entire Lama Zopa, because every day to do it is difficult, but when you're doing the Lama Zopa practice, you can decide, the Vajrasattva, the Samaya Vajra. And in any case, you can pick up the Samaya Vajra certainly from there, but there might be a separate booklet for it from the FPMT. Excuse me. And of course, if you have Tantra initiation, especially Mother Tantra initiation, then Higher Soga Tantra initiation, then you are required, that's one of the commitments, is to do a Sog offering twice a month, right? On the 15th and the 28th day of the Tibetan month. And so in the Soga offering practice, there's also you're also purifying negative karma towards the guru. And when you're doing a self-initiation of the deity also, of course. All right. By the way, this context in which Rinpoche is speaking about finger snaps and negative karma towards the guru, being angry with the guru, and so forth and so on, is from the sutra point of view, right? If you have created anger towards the guru from a tantric perspective, like he's your tantric master, and you create, you have anger towards the guru, it is, I'm not even qualified to talk about it, because it is hugely, the downfall is just great. I mean, I don't know what the word is. It's much, much more severe. So that's why doing the Soga offering, self-initiation, Lama Zopa, all that stuff is such a great practice, because we are human beings, and we do occasionally, we will have negative thoughts towards the guru. Hopefully not anger, but certainly we can have negative thoughts towards the guru, question the guru, and so forth and so on, right? Guru's actions and so forth and so on. So we need to be careful about those. All right. So he concludes by saying there are these three great shortcomings because this object is the most powerful one in your life. You have to understand the negative side of what happens if you get angry, arise heresy, or criticize your guru even for such a short duration. It is the greatest harm to you and the greatest destruction. So yeah, and you know, it's amazing how much, you know, like I know of a case, for example, a great student of, I want, a great student of Geshe Rabten, who was one of the great, like Geshe Rabten was one of His Holiness's teachers, I believe. He used to teach in Switzerland, and their students continue his work there. But so this guy was a student, one of the first students of Geshe Rabten, and he worked with him for many years in translations and writing books and so forth and so on. And so, but then something happened, and over for the last 20 years or so, he gave up the guru, and he started questioning guru devotion and essentially this Mahayana path. So I can't even imagine. The kind of negative karma that this person is creating. So yeah, and so it's not. Rinpoche is not speaking, here when he says months or years of anger towards a guru. He's not speaking at it from a theoretical standpoint here. This is all real. Yeah. Okay. Donnie, if you have any questions, of course, just raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, I'm assuming that everything makes sense, but please stop me anytime, as you know, if there are any questions. Okay.
I'm fine. I've been through all this before, but it's good to hear it again.
Yeah, especially from Rinpoche, yeah.
That's good.
Okay. All right, so the next one is, see, the unbelievable advantage. Okay, there is a video for part of this, but not the entire thing. So let's read the part that there is not a video for. It's unbelievable. So he talked about the shortcomings of devoting to the guru, and so now he talks about the advantages of devoting to guru. Interesting that he goes sorry, I got dogs here jumping on me. Yeah. So now look at the positive side. Obeying the advice with devotion by seeing the guru as a Buddha, serving him, and then making offerings to him. When you do any of them, again, for this duration of completing an action, can you imagine the merit and the purification that happens to you? Unbelievable purification happens to you, and you collect inconceivable merits. You should receive similar power and benefit when you obey the guru, serve him, or make offerings to him. You should get the most unbelievable advantage or profit. You should realize it. You should realize it is the same for the other way around, for the positive way, the good times. It is not that from the negative side there is a result, but on the positive side there is nothing. How can that be? It should be the same. You have to realize this. Therefore, you can see now that in your life, guru devotion is a most urgent need, the utmost need. It is the most unbelievable important protection for you. From guru devotion, receive blessings from the guru, and that becomes a cause to achieve realizations. Even if you are doing very strong purification every day, prostration of 35 Buddhas, Vajrasattva, self-initiation, etc., and also collecting extensive merits by doing mandala offerings and so forth, the most important thing is pleasing the guru. Doing what pleases the guru is the most powerful method for purifying negative karma, collecting extensive merits, and achieving enlightenment. That happens when you please the guru. Then with devotion, make one pointed request to the guru and meditate on the Lam Rim. When your mind is in a positive state from doing intense collecting of merits, purifying defilements, and making strong requests to the guru, At that time, if you meditated in permanence, it is easy to feel it. Usually you say the words, but the feeling is not there. The feeling, the experience is far away. It is not in your heart. You recite the words, but the feeling is not there. But this time, you recite the words and feel them in the heart. It is similar when you meditate on bodhicitta. You feel it in your heart stronger during those times. So that's why they always, not they, but the teachers always recommend that when we're doing Lam Rim, especially trying to gain Lam Rim realizations and do Lam Rim meditations, to do it in the context of a Guru Yoga, usually Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga, but you can use any Guru Yoga, because the Guru Yoga creates the basis for the collecting the merits and the blessings and so forth and so on, and to transform, to transform the mind into a state that's soft and receptive to the Buddha's blessings, and then also because of that to gain the realizations quickly, right? Otherwise, doing the Lam Rim meditations by just by themselves in isolation, it's much harder. And you may know that, but I certainly know that as well. In my own practice, I've seen that to be the case. Okay. Let's see, where were we? Yeah. So whatever you're meditating on, you have a strong feeling in your heart. So we're here as you recite the words. By continuing that for months and years, you get the stable realization, the stable experience. Then day and night, all the time, you feel that naturally from your heart, without the need for much reasoning. You feel from your heart how your human rebirth is so precious, how death can happen at any moment, how there is no time for meaningless activities, no time for seeking the happiness of this life, and only time for seeking happiness of future lives, and so forth. Genjampa Wangdu, who had great success in meditation, said that once your mind is trained in the Dharma, the easiest thing for you to do is Dharma. When your mind is trained in the Dharma, the easiest thing in your life is Dharma. There's only time for Dharma, no time for worldly activities. Now there is a lot of time for worldly activities and no time for Dharma. But the more you meditate on death and impermanence, especially when you achieve realization, then there is no time for this life. There is no time for this life, only time for happiness of future life, liberation and enlightenment. There is only time for that, and no time for meaningless work, no time for negative karma. Then it is so easy to create good karma. Now, when delusion arises, we uncontrollably create negative karma like a waterfall. But after you get more experience, especially if you realize impermanence and this realization becomes stable, there's no time for negative karma, non-virtue, or meaningless work. There's only time for Dharma. Wow.
I really like that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I really like. Lately, I've been thinking, what would it be like to only do Dharma, which I try to do actually, because I don't have to work or anything like that. And it's interesting when that's all there is, and it's really fortunate for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true, and what he's saying is Guru devotion is the basis for it, right? I mean, once we have Guru devotion, everything comes easily, all the realizations, and then there is nothing but Dharma, right? And it's a beautiful thing, concept. It's so amazing when this is why I love Rinpoche's style, because he's not just talking about it from, of course he knows all the scriptures, but he's not, I find that a lot of great Tibetan lamas and Western teachers as well, Western lamas as well. You know, they're talking from the, you know, I mean, they're all telling us the truth, you know, the you know, and but they're talking from a scriptural point of view, you know, from the scriptures, and there's a certain, I find there's a certain dryness to it. But Rinpoche is, you know, of course he's talking from the scriptures as well, because he knows all the scriptures, but he's really talking from experience, you know, from experience, right? So he's, you know, it really cuts through, I find. So anyway, okay, so the next one is a video for which, so this is video 5, for which you should have the transcript on you know, from that link I sent, right? So we'll watch the video with you. Sorry?
I'll go to the link. I'll go to the link after we log off from here. I can't do both at once, but I put it in the search box to go as soon as we're done here.
Oh, you can't.
I can't. The bandwidth is that horrible. I'm on cellular, and
okay.
There's something going on lately, and I won't even. Yeah.
Okay.
But, okay.
So then what I'll do. So this one is short. So what I'll do, if you can see both the video and the text on my screen, then I will just turn the video on like this instead of making it full screen, and you can read also the transcript down below, right? So that might be easier. Okay, so let's do that.
So it's incredible. So you see all the benefits, you see, all studying group something. Oh, know how to practice all the benefits. So incredible joy. So unbelievable joy. The happiest life, you know, in your life, the happiest life. There's no other happier life than this. Because the benefits, what you get from that, you know. Well, you know, all the native karmas collected from beginningless rebirth get purified. And let me discuss merits. Every second you collect most extensive merit. You know? Wow, there's so many things. There's so many things in life to obtain the advice. In daily life, there's so many things to obtain the advice. So many things. Okay? So see, yeah, as I mentioned, each time when you good advice to do retreat or to chant mantra, then each mantra you recite, so many unbelievable karmas get purified, extensive merit collect, you get cross enlightenment. Each time you sweep the floor, each time sweeping, you bring cross enlightenment, same thing. So most extensive merit collect. So because of all these, so the mind is happiest. So you see, because of what you get, you know. So you can let go you can let go I, you can let go, you see, your selfish mind. You know? That's not allowed. You can never achieve enlightenment with that. You can never achieve enlightenment. You can never achieve any no Mahana realization, any Mahana path, no Burmese, not any path, not bodhicitta, you see, draw the Mahana path. So you see, however, so here you see that's totally source of all the suffering problems, all the misfortune, all the failure in dharma practice, in the achievement. You see. So that's all the source of that. So but not only the benefits of the guru, but here also understanding all the shortcomings of substitution thought. So you're able to defeat that. You're able to, so happy to defeat that. So happy to let go of that. So you see, anyway, so incredible joy. There's no happier life than this. There's no happier life. There's no happiest life than this. Then there's no happiest life than this. So if you analyze, you see, so just most amazing. So you will understand, the whole ITC. So you're living, so the way you're living the happiest life. What benefit you get, what you can achieve every day, every hour, every minute, every second.
So yeah, I mean, what more is there to say? I think, so the happiest life comes from Guru devotion. It's as Lama Tsongkhapa says, the foundation of all good qualities. And Rinpoche said, there is no happier life than this. Yeah. And even if we do every second that we devote to following a guru's advice, like chanting a mantra, unbelievable negative karma gets purified. And you get the most extensive merits. So even if it's like sweeping the floor, like the Buddha told, the Chuta Pandaka, and anyway, that's a story in the Lamrim, but that Rinpoche is referencing here. But yeah, like sweeping the floor. I mean, Chuta Pandaka, even though he had the dullest mind, couldn't remember us, like he would start one mantra in the beginning, and by the time he got to the end, he had forgotten the beginning, and so forth and so on. So the Buddha told him, just sweep the floor of the temple, or of the meditation hall. And just that action purified so much karma that he was, and then of course he was able to, become an Arya being in that one life, So yeah. So that's what he's talking.
I love that story. I used to be a Zen monk. I was going to be a Zen priest. And so I heard a lot of stories. And this is saying, the Zen monk was enlightened while he was sweeping, and he kept on sweeping. That really stuck with me.
Yeah. And all because it was the Guru's advice, right? I mean, it's if one does anything with devotion, with the thought of devotion to the Guru, that action just becomes just clouds, as Rinpoche says, clouds of merit, right? Like, just clouds and clouds of merit. So yeah, something to remember. Okay, so then, okay, so then let's, so then I won't, because we're running a little short of time, I won't do I'll skip something here, and I'll go to the next chapter in this book. So he talks about, this chapter was seeing the Guru devotion, the most urgent need. So then the next one is training and seeing the Guru as the Buddha, right? And this is the most important thing, of course. So wait a minute, what happened here? Oh, right. So there's a little bit of, I don't know why, these are all from the video. If they have some videos, I don't know why they can't make all of the, have videos for all of this instead of the facilitator reading them, Anyway, so here, Rinpoche is, kind of goes over the Lamrim. So how to train the mind in Guru devotion. So now so far he has covered, the first class we covered why it is important, what is Guru devotion, why it's important, so forth and so on. The second one he covered, so today's the second. Today we covered the benefits of devoting oneself to the Guru and the shortcomings of not devoting oneself to the Guru. And so once we have realized those, things, then we have convinced ourselves that Guru devotion is extremely, extremely important. So now he's talking about how to devote oneself to the Guru. So yeah. So you might feel it is difficult to train mind in Guru devotion. However, at the beginning, the most important thing is to do one meditation every day by following the outlines. First, there are the 8 benefits of devoting yourself. Do that for a few weeks. Next, there are the 8 shortcomings of making mistakes. Then there are the few outlines, followed by major points according to the quick path. The first outline is a guru is a Buddha because this was promised by Guru Vajradhara. The second, the guru does the actions of all the Buddhas, or the guru is the doer of all the actions of the Buddhas. Third, even nowadays, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are doing the work of sentient beings. So definitely they're doing the work for you. And finally, there is nothing definite or certain in your own appearances. So these are the 4 outlines and why the guru, one should devote oneself to the guru. The way the outlines are set up is the first one is the guru is the Buddha is accepted by Vajradhara. The outlines start like that, but I think for Westerners, it's much more effective to change the 4 outlines around and start with the last. Nothing is certain in your view. Because I think the guru is a Buddha because it was promised to the Guru Vajradhara, that is kind of more, that the outlines, the 4th points are kind of, they were written down, they were written by Lama Tsongkhapa in the 1300s. So and that was of course directed towards monks and nuns who were already in the monastery. So by the time that they are studying the Lam Rim, they already have some amount of guru devotion. So for them, the guru is a Buddha because it was promised by Guru Buddha Vajradhara. It works. But for us who are not in that milieu or that whatever in the monastery, it's best for Rinpoche, Rinpoche says to turn it around and start with the last. So here it is. Nothing is certain in your view. I've explained already how the Buddhas manifest in all kinds of ordinary forms. Ordinary form means having mistakes. Therefore, you see an ordinary form having mistakes. If this is what you see, then use this reasoning. The ordinary form that appears to me as having mistakes, delusions, sickness, whatever appears to my ordinary mind, mistaken mind, impure mind, is because my mind is impure. Therefore, it doesn't see the guru in the aspect of a Buddha, but only sees an ordinary aspect having these mistakes. You can't use the reasoning, because I see this, he's not a Buddha. You can't use this as the main reason to not see the guru as a Buddha. Then you will make a lot of mistakes, and there is incredible danger for your realizations and to your enlightenment. Just because you see someone as an ordinary being, it does not mean that person is an ordinary being. You can relate this to many other things in your life. For example, many causative phenomena in your life, friends, enemies, strangers, material possessions, etc., are in the nature of impermanence, changing second by second. In each second, they don't last, but you have a hallucination of permanence. They appear to you as permanent. You have that perception, and then you believe that they will last long. You have this view, but it doesn't prove that they are permanent in reality. Even though you have this appearance and you believe it, it doesn't mean that this proves they are permanent phenomena. This is totally wrong. Another example is that phenomena are empty of true existence, but they appear to be truly existent and you believe that to be 100% true. Similarly, just because you have this appearance doesn't prove that phenomena are truly existent. There are so many examples that show you cannot prove something because it is my view, it is correct. You have so many false views that you believe to be true, but are not true in reality. Thinking like this helps you develop guru devotion. Even though I have the view of seeing the guru as ordinary, nothing is certain. It is not necessarily like that in reality. So yeah, I think it does work really well for us Westerners. Because just from our own experience, even if we don't think about permanent things and impermanent things and truly existent things and blah, 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 we just know from our own experience that, how we see things is not how they are, right? Because even in a situation when there are 2 people involved in a situation, even though there's one experience or one, I don't know what the word is, one thing that is happening, 2 people have totally 2 different views or what happened or conclusions, or like in a jury box, right? I mean, you have different witnesses to the same event, but they have totally different recollection of what happened, right?
Or like I thought right after I said it, basically, when I said, oh yeah, when you said you were having some difficulty, immediately I jumped to what I was thinking in general lately. And then that might not have been it at all. It might be that your dog was on your foot, or it's fine.
yeah, it's totally. And the funny thing is that I mean, funny, but it's really sad. The funny thing is that we live our lives every single moment thinking what is going through our mind is correct or is true. I mean,
it's so great to take it back off from that. And lately, I've been more successful at it. To just, yeah, is this true? Is it
right?
There's no proof it's true. It's never true.
yeah, exactly. And so that's what I mean. I always, when I teach some of the Discovering Buddhism classes, one of the ones I used to do regularly was the one on Guru devotion, and I always, this was one. This is, I saw this movie once. It's by the great Japanese, the Kurosawa director Kurosawa. And I think the movie was Rashomon, and I always recommend this movie because it came out of the it came out in the 50s, black and white, But I remember this very clearly, like it was really stuck with me, because I think there were 7 people who witnessed a rape, right? There was the person who did the action, the person who was the victim, then there was a couple of robbers, and I can't remember, in this little village. But and it's basically, the entire movie is these 7 people talking about what happened, right? And it's totally, it's like totally different. What each person saw was totally different, right? I remember really sticking with me, that just, I should watch that movie again. It was such a, I always talk about it, but I haven't seen it in 20 years. But yeah, anyway. And at the end of the movie, the other reason I recommend the movie is at the end of the movie, you're still not clear what exactly happened.
Right.
It's left to
our memory is like that too, where every time it's kind of different, and it's not really the real. Yeah, it's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So the first point, why the guru is we can see the guru as a Buddha, is because when we don't see him as a Buddha or her as a Buddha, it's don't believe it, right? So just because our view says, our perception says so, does not mean it's that he's not a Buddha, or he or she is not a Buddha. Okay. The second one is, again, what I will do, since you can't see the can I? Yeah, there we go. Can't see the full, can't see the transcript. I will.
Oh, you can say he. You don't have to put the he or she. I find that kind of in.
Yeah, I do usually mention that when I say he, I also mean she. So, and then I'll just keep saying
exactly.
He.
I understand that.
Yeah.
To not have to be in there.
So okay, so maybe we'll just So let's see. I'll keep going down the transcript so you can see what he's saying. So.
Then the second next one is.
So here's where he's starting.
Even Buddha Sapas doing work for Sindhi means, so doing work for me. You see, how can I live out? Even they benefit of animals. They manifested from animal, even work for animals. Benefit. So I'm a human being. See, of course. You see, much more easy to, to benefit. You understand? So, but by having him in the body, this person in the body, you can say, you can speak, you can understand words' meanings, you can communicate. So much easier to benefit. You see. I say, yeah, okay. So definitely no question. So anyway, the Shankha, even the Buddha Sapa don't work for means okay, don't work for so me, for no reason. Then Buddha Sapa Buddhas are the gurus are the doer of Buddha's all the Buddha's actions. Buddha's the gurus are doer of all the Buddha's actions. So I want to tell you this. I mentioned it once before. So I said, so when we receive initiation, teaching, things like that, we see, okay. So the numberless Buddhas, Tara is teaching, giving you initiation, Tara giving you teaching, okay, commentary, all that, Tara, you know, so like that, you see, all the Buddhas are guiding you, okay, all the Buddhas guiding you, all the Buddhas guiding you, numberless Buddhas guiding you, giving initiation, giving you all the time giving you commentary, all that, okay, through this. To this aspect, Guru, okay? So I think that's so important one. Unbelievable to keep that, to hold on that. All the numbers of Buddhas guiding me, you know, whatever activity is that, all the Buddhas doing this, okay, to me, so important, you know, to write down that in a notebook, in your say, what is it? Diary book. In the diary book, write down. So to hold that in the mind, to keep that in the heart, to keep that in the mind. Then you get something here in the mind. Then you feel connected to all the Buddhas. You're guided by all the Buddhas. Wow, all the Buddhas are giving teaching me. You know, so you see, I'm very happy, you know, happiness, you know, joy. You know, so you feel so fortunate. You see? So I think always to feel that, always. Whether you're far or you're near to Guru, but that's always what we should have on our heart. When you're cleaning, when you're serving, you know, whatever service you're doing, always to have that thought. And this. I mean, I said, not only the Guru is subject, also even each gurus, you know, the cell, atom of the holy body, even gurus, every atom of the holy body is all the Buddha. Number is Buddha there. Even each atom of the holy body is all Buddha. So like that you should think. So anyway, so this constantly mind is giving this. Then is very easy to obtain advice. Very easy to obtain advice. Whatever is getting, so much happiness, you know, unbelievable happiness, joy to do it, you know, with this advice of all the Buddha. You see, this is what you understand is advice of all the Buddhas. So unbelievable happiness, unbelievable happiness, you know, to not difficult to do that, to obtain the advice, whatever advice given, you know, even their unbelievable difficulties in life. I mean, even their unbelievable difficulties, you know, in the work. You see, even the unbelievable difficulties in the work. During that, you see so much obstacles. But then when you keep your mind in this constantly, incredible joy, unbelievable joy. You know, unbelievable happiness, joy, inner peace, happiness. You see, no matter how much difficult there is, you know, so many problems, you know, they're unable to, during the work, you see, they whatever the, good advice to do. So what your own practice or the during practice or the center activities or whatever you see. No matter how much problem there's, difficult there's, So for you, incredible joy, unbelievable, you say, so unbelievable, most worthwhile thing to do in the life. So you feel like that, you see. More difficult it is, more problem you have, more difficulties is unbelievable purification for you. Purify the karma collected from beginning, but so for you it's a kind of better. It's a more difficult, more problem. It's better because it's so powerful purification for you. You see, purifying karma, and then more difficult. What more difficult is more hard one has beer. More hardship is unbelievable. Marriage one collect. So it's, you see. So because Milarepa, you see, after having through black magic killed 30 or 60 people, and then many animals. So that Heva then building the tower by himself 3 times. So Marpa, who is an enlightened being, so most wise, most skillful. So by doing that, so much hardship, achieved enlightenment in that life. Doing so much hardship, experiencing so much hardship, then purified all. Purified, not in this land, but the past land, so purified, and then every quickest way purified, unbelievable. Then collected most expensive, and that's why achieved enlightenment in that life, in a brief lifetime of distant time. So example, like that, and many others who achieve enlightenment in one brief lifetime. Okay, so all the hardship they went through. See, so anyway, so therefore, for one subject, even better, so that you can purify. So only come correct from beginners, but the correct is to and then become quick path to enlightenment. So harder is more problem there. Okay, so like that. So see, for yourself, unbelievable advantage. So that.
Yeah, so that's the end of that video. So this section was on the gurus being the doers of all the Buddha's actions, and he said the most important thing is to just remember that whatever initiation we get, commentaries, oral transmissions, so like when we're getting from Geshe-la or from any teacher, it's to remember that the Buddhas are guiding me, he says, right? Because they're acting through the teacher. So it's very important to remember that. And of course, if we're getting an initiation, then it's of course it's essential to see the guru as inseparable from the Buddhas anyway. So also it's important if we're doing a guru yoga practice, that's not just essential, it's a requirement to see the, especially when making supplications to guru and the deity descends into our heart and gives it, or is on a crown above our head and giving us blessings and so forth and so on, that the guru is, the deity, and the deity is no different from the Buddha, right? Deity is no different from the guru. In fact, they're one and the same. So that's kind of what he's referring to here. So whenever we're getting teachings, we have to remember all the Buddhas are guiding. I think it's really, I had forgotten that. I have to remember. I have to write it down in my diarrhea book. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that the unbelievable happiness comes because of the advice of the Buddhas, right? Because if we if we, whatever we're having to do, whatever practice we're doing, even though it's difficult or we're having difficulties because we, the Guru, like Rinpoche, let's say, has said that you need to serve and so forth, and so forth, center, and you have lots of problems in the center. Of course, that's why Rinpoche is giving you the advice to work at the center, because, she knows you need to purify obstacles and negativities. So you of course face all these obstacles, but the best way to remember it is that it is the advice of the Buddhas. The Buddhas are guiding me, right? So then, you have unbelievable joy. Yeah, and you create unbelievable purification of negative karmas. And then he talks about Milarepa, of course, who, that's how he gained enlightenment in this life and was able to help so many other beings since then, right? In these hundreds of years, when we use his example in our own life, right? He's inspiring us. So he's, he didn't just benefit people in his life during his lifetime, but even so many lifetimes since. Sorry, hang on. Let me, for whatever reason, my alarm is. Okay. All right.
What is that? Your kid playing violin?
No, that's my alarm. It told me that I need to water this one tree that I planted.
No, what's the ringtone? It sounds like a kid
violin. It is. No, it's actually a very well-known violin. I'm a violinist, so it's a composition by Martin.
You were going to say Buber, weren't you?
Yeah, but it's a Baroque piece. It was one of the, and Bach, when he wrote his pieces, actually took inspiration from this guy. It's Martin, not Buber. Anyway, I'll remember.
I was going to say, that's wrong too.
Yeah. So anyway, it's one of his solo pieces, violin solo pieces.
Cool. I dreamed about viola last night.
Okay. All right. So then the next, let's see, what time? Oh, it's 1:31 already. Okay. So I think we're out of, so next time we will start with this section. I have to remember that. And video 7. So let's end today. Let's finish our, let me share my screen. Finish with our prayers. Okay.
Hopefully this won't stop during the prayers. If it does, I'm not being rude. It just.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
I have video on for this. I usually do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. So let's do our dedication prayers. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of my Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the precious jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. And may we become just like our gurus. So Rinpoche, may he continue to guide us forever and ever. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. His Holiness, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparable kind Tenzin Gatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Also, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And finally, our beloved Geshe-la. He's in Nepal now, may he continue to have a long, happy life and return safely. Beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please, please live a long and stable life. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dani. Bye.
Bye.